As President Obama pardons his final pair of turkeys today, he upholds a years-long tradition continued by every sitting president since 1989. But the ceremony's odd origins may have it dated back all the way to the 1800s. One America's Haley Raffner has more on the poultry pardoning history.
It's a yearly tradition where one lucky turkey ends up on the steps of the White House instead of your dinner plate. But where did the tradition start? Reports of turkeys as gifts to American presidents date all the way back to the 1870s, when a Rhode Island poultry dealer by the name of Horace Vose began sending well-fed birds to the White House. The first president to receive a Vose turkey was Ulysses S. Grant in 1873, and the tradition continued all the way to the farmer's death in 1913, when he sent his last turkey to Woodrow Wilson. Turkeys were typically sent to the White House as gifts for the president, but it wasn't until 1926, when Calvin Coolidge received the most interesting gift of them all, that may have paved the way for the modern tradition. A raccoon arrived at the White House intended to be cooked and served at Thanksgiving. The then first family declined to eat it and instead kept it as a pet and named it Rebecca. That begged the question, if the president could pardon a raccoon, why not a turkey? The origin of the actual White House ceremony is still veiled in mystery, with some saying it could go all the way back to President Abraham Lincoln, who pardoned a turkey named Jack in 1863. Some say Harry S. Truman was the first president to officially pardon a turkey, and while turkeys have been spared under John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan, the ceremony wasn't cemented into tradition until George H.W. Bush held the first official pardoning ceremony in 1989. Now, every year since, a president has held a turkey pardoning ceremony on Thanksgiving Eve. That's including Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and President Barack Obama.
I hereby officially pardon this turkey in order that he be sent to the petting zoo in Fairfax County, Virginia, to live his remaining days in peace and happiness.
That's because, in keeping with the long-standing tradition, pumpkin and pecan are hereby granted a full and unconditional presidential pardon.
America is, after all, a country of second chances, and this turkey has earned a second chance to live out the rest of his life comfortably on 1,000 acres of open land, complete with a barn called the White House on Turkey Hill.
But after the fame, the photos, and the news coverage, what happens to those spared souls? In years past, the pardoned poultry have gone to parks in Virginia, Mount Vernon, and in years before, they were on display at Disneyland and even Disney World. Haley Raffner, One America News.